Sundays with Steve. This one's going to be a little more in-depth, complicated than most. So I slightly apologize for that, but the world's in a bit of a funny place right now. So I thought I would address that. Ukraine. Everyone's failing Ukraine. Well, not everyone, but a lot are. Europe, USA, pretty much everybody. There was a chance, there was about 6 months at the beginning of the invasion when if Europe just went in and went, no, don't cross this line or we'll fucking kick your ass, that would have really helped. But they didn't. Because they just, I don't know, they were scared, I guess. Who knows? They should have done it back when Russia invaded Crimea.
Okay.
I think it's the biggest thing that Obama did wrong was not go, wait. But people's hearts just weren't in it. And they are a bit now. But Russia's invasion has failed disastrously. They're losing 1,000 troops a day. Not all killed, but some of them so seriously injured that they can't fight anymore. So it's 1,000 troops per day off the battlefield. Yes, Ukraine is losing people, but it's difficult to judge because Ukraine doesn't really say it, but people who know are saying it's like a 5 or 6 to 1 ratio. So that's still not good. But that precious 6 months has gone, it's way gone. And we're now 3 years and 6 months into this fucking disaster. And I don't know where it's going to go. Trump got into a fight with the EU about everything, tariffs, defense of whatever, he just started so Europe doesn't trust Trump. He just pissed everybody off and people don't like him. They don't trust him. They don't trust America. Trade is down, but that's just how it is. Putin just has him right where he wants him. He says one thing and then 10 minutes later he says something else because he had a chat to Putin. So Putin's got this odd strength on him somehow, this odd power. And right now, this week, he's like, no, fuck Putin, we're going to send you missiles. And then next week it'll be completely different. And you can't do diplomacy like that. It's like it needs to be consistent, but he's like a fucking 10-year-old toddler with a big stick, a really big stick.
Shit.
Right now, as I speak, the USS Gerald R. Ford is leaving Croatia in the Mediterranean and heading to, no, not China, not anywhere else, the Caribbean. And it's not to give the sailors a nice break in the Caribbean. It's because Trump thinks that Venezuela is a bigger threat. So he's like sending the world's biggest aircraft carrier to sit right off Venezuela. That's the biggest stick in the world. And I'm not joking about that. I mean, it's the most powerful ship ever built by a long shot. It's like got 60-something jets on it. It's got amazing, it's just so much capability. Against Venezuelan drug runners who are just like on little speedboats with outboard motors on, scooting across. I'm not saying those guys are good guys. They're not. But you don't send the world's most powerful, because it's not just the aircraft carrier. It's all its support as well. So it's about 10 to 12 ships, all steaming across the Atlantic, well, through the Mediterranean, and then going to Venezuela. The fuck? It's so insanely stupid, but that's where it is right now. Innovation and the Ukraine war are freaking amazing. When Russia invaded, Ukraine only had a few drones. They had like DJI stuff like I've got, and they had a few agricultural drones. But once the war started, the farmers went to the military and said, why don't you use our drones to drop bombs on the Russians? So that's how it started. And now, 3 years later, the drone capability that is coming out of Ukraine is phenomenal. I mean, the videos that you see where there'll be a spy drone and they'll find something that looks suspicious and they'll get closer and they'll check it out from all angles and they'll think there's something bad going on. Then they send a fiber optic controlled, because you can't interfere with it. Electronic defenses don't work against those things because they're getting all their controls, sending all the pictures through a very, very long, 10-kilometer long fiber optic wire, which is like as thick as your hair. Seriously. And that's how they're controlling the drones. And they're getting pictures back. And they're going into barns and they're looking around the barn until they see a tank covered up with hay bales in the corner, and then they just bang it. And it's like, didn't see that coming. You know, it's changed warfare. I mean, it's just really changed everything on the warfare front. I mean, it's crazy. You don't need a battleship anymore. You just need 1 million drones. I mean, you've seen these like displays where they've got like 1,000 drones in the air. Imagine if those 1,000 drones decided to like descend on one place and they all had explosives on it. Boom! A whole swarm of them. You can't fight that. There's nothing you can do. Because what they're also doing, the next thing above... So there's people trying to park a boat just behind the camera and they're not making a great job of it because the wind is blowing this way and they're coming in this way and they should be coming in this way, and the guy's yelling at them and they're just like doing the wrong thing, and it's like, what the fuck? There's some stupid people around. So anyway, the fiber optic drones can go 10K and no one can touch them. But the next level, and this is already happening, is AI drones that are autonomous, and they will feed what they're looking for into the program, and the drone will know exactly where it is and look for it, and it will fly itself. So they can't be interfered with. They'll transmit signals, they transmit pictures, but they're not receiving anything. It doesn't have any way of being got. It's like an air gap for the computer, for whatever. There's no way until you connect it, but they're not connecting it, and then it goes in and zaps it. That's the next thing. That's going to happen within 6 months to a year. And again, that changes it takes it to the next level. So, you know, you've got Sweden doing a deal with Ukraine to sell 100 to 150 Gripens, which is amazing. You still need some aircraft right now, because you can't just fight a battle against a country like Russia with just drones. You still need some tanks, you still need some aircraft, and you probably will for decades to come. So they're instead of buying, because they originally were thinking of buying F-35s, which are way expensive, to buy these little Gripens, which are much smaller, single engine, nimble as hell, and everyone freaking loves them. Everyone who flies these things thinks they're the best thing they've ever seen. People talk a lot about de-escalation, but sometimes you need to escalate things in order to de-escalate things. For example, a long time ago, I did something that might have been stupid, and my friend Murray Heppel will back me up if ever I needed to. But what happened was I went to a party, but it was a party in West LA, and there's kind of a gang thing going on there, and it was a nice party. It was a birthday party for some guy and his girlfriend. So these guys show up, and they're cholo guys, they're like gang members or whatever, and one of them especially was behaving very disrespectfully to the hostess. and he just grabbed her ass, and he was just being a dick. And the host comes around, and he's like, dude, can you just leave? You know, and you could see him tensing up, and he wanted to punch him. You could tell. And I'm like, I don't like this. So I did what might be the stupidest thing I've ever done, but I got right behind him, threw my arm around him, choked him, pulled him to the ground, kicked his legs out. He's on the ground. You keep squeezing, and after about 3 or 4 seconds, he just goes limp. You got him in a chokehold. There's no blood going to his brain at this point. Tiny little brain. And his friends just started laughing. They're like, ah! And then Murray taps me on the shoulder and he goes, guys, we got to get out of here. And I'm like, yeah. So you give him another little squeeze, and then you drop him, and then we just skedaddled out of there. But it broke up the situation. No one got punched. There was no big fights. There was no knives. There was no guns involved. So occasionally you have to escalate things to de-escalate things. And that's what needs to happen right now. It's like Russia needs to get punched in the face because they're not learning. All they're learning is the fact that people aren't sticking together. Article 5 doesn't apply to Ukraine because they're not in NATO. But we could just say, okay, Article 5, you cross this line, we're kicking your ass. And all of America and all of the EU, plus like Australia, Japan, they've all got things they can throw at Russia and just fucking demolish it. And that might need to happen because they're not learning. All they're learning is how to fight Europe. They're trying to break up NATO. And it's working because Trump is such a prick that he's like, well, NATO, whatever, you know. So that's remarkably stupid. Ukraine is an asset, not a liability. They're like the airbag. You know, the cars hit something, they're protecting us, everyone else. And they're taking a big pounding, but they're withstanding it. There's no way they're going to surrender. They love their homeland. They're proud people. They've got a great education system. They've got a great healthcare system, and they don't like Russia. And they're right there. So we just need to back them up and just be like, guys, we got you. And then tell Russia just to get the fuck out. Because Russia's got nothing. They're conscripting people, but it's getting very cold in Russia. Russia's colder than Ukraine. Ukraine's cold in the winter, but Russia's a lot colder. And they're just slowly knocking out all the fuel, all the power grid, everything, just bink, 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 bink. So that's going to impact the Russian people a lot when it comes to. And then you've got like Trump getting into bed with North Korea. Oh, I look forward to meeting Kim Jong-un. No, what the fuck are you talking about, you moron? North Koreans are supplying Russia. That's not the guy you want to be friends with. But he's so stupid because Kim Jong-un will say something nice about him and he'll go, oh, you see, he likes me. And Trump is this little 10-year-old that wants a little pat on the head. And if you do that, he just says nice things about you and wants to do business with you because he thinks he can make some money. He probably is thinking about erecting a Trump Tower in North Korea. That ain't gonna work. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm glad you hung out to the end, and I don't know. Happy Sunday. Bye bye.